IVM.
Hi, I'm Utsav, a behavior researcher by training and a slow traveler by passion. Postcards from Nowhere is a travel podcast where I condense a decade of travel experiences and explore not just the where, but also the why and how to travel. My stories emerged from slow traveling the less explored parts of the world: Bosnia and Herzegovina, Armenia, Uzbekistan, and even China. At the end of each story, I give practical tips and new ideas about how to travel better.
This week, I take you to Naples in Italy and tell you what connects the deadly LTTE, Ernest Hemingway, and an unlikely food which encapsulates the way we should see the city. On October 17th, he overindulged in food. In late 2018, archaeologists working at the Pompeii site discovered new graffiti in the preserved city's Reggio 5 district. The writing seemed to suggest that the fatal eruption from nearby Mount Vesuvius took place in October AD 79 and not August, as some historians had previously thought. The entire event changed the date of the eruption in the most Neapolitan way, because it combined two hallmark characteristics of Nepali life: food and graffiti. For most travelers, Naples is often skipped in favor of Rome, Milan, Venice, or Amalfi. For many, Naples is a secondary city to visit, if you have enough time having seen the rest of Italy. And one could come up with great reasons. It's overrun by the Camorra or the Italian mafia, regularly tops the European Crime Index, has high unemployment, and an ever-growing waste disposal crisis. And yet, there is a saying, Vedi Napoli poi muori, or see Naples and die. And yet, UNESCO considers Neapolitan pizza making as intangible cultural heritage. Few places could rival both the food and the graffiti of Naples, both of which have intricate stories of their own. And graffiti isn't the only form of expression in Naples. The iconic hand gestures are a language of their own, meant as a way to allow different parts of non-unified Italy to communicate. They are now so ingrained in the Italian way of life that I even saw people talking on the phone using these gestures as if the other person could see them. And they have some weird hand gestures, including one for, your wife is cheating on you. Say what you wish about it, but Naples is authentic. It vibrates with life. Old buildings, narrow alleyways, scooters flying by, hordes of people, laundry hanging, and fish markets. And one thing which we could find unmistakably across the city is its graffiti. At its very core, graffiti is paradoxical. It's an art form and a criminal activity. In Naples, the city has undertaken street art projects to beautify its streets and show respect to its legends. But graffiti is all over its streets. Tags, slogans, declarations of love, outbursts against authority. There is a constantly shifting threshold between art and vandalism, but it is also an act of cultural belonging, because the urge to destroy, in essence, is a creative passion. Contemporary graffiti found in the streets is an act of everyday resistance and adaptation by the poor and the marginalized. They come from not only the city, but also from outside. A curious fact about Naples is the presence of a large Sri Lankan diaspora. In a strange twist of events, increasing confrontations between the LTTE and the Sri Lankan army led to a migration of Sri Lankans to Italy. It started with the Sinhalese Catholics, and eventually, people came from all over the country, with many choosing to land at the port of Naples, both legally and illegally. On one of our walking misadventures, we found ourselves weaving through the streets of Sanita with a whiff of familiar smells. Frying garlic, roasting onions, meat simmered in sauce for many hours, and we spotted graffiti in Sinhalese. Much like the Sri Lankan diaspora, if there is an emotion which captures the spirit of the city, it would be grit. It's not the kind of grit that waxes eloquent about business barons, military leaders, and high-performing executives, but the kind which reminds us of Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea. It's the story of Santiago, an aging Cuban fisherman who struggles with a giant marlin far out in the Gulf Stream off the coast of Cuba. A man who has been at sea for 84 days without catching a fish. The fishing community is in fact what gives Italy its most popular food export and is emblematic of the Neapolitan spirit. Who could marry the simplicity of the flatbread and the heartiness of tomatoes, olive oil, garlic and oregano? In the early 18th century, the poor marinas of Naples began topping their flatbread with tomatoes brought from Peru, which were thought to be poisonous. Long days at sea meant there was no cheese at hand, and poverty ensured that there was no cheese at all. This eventually became pizza marinara, the most basic of the pizzas. Today, the marinara is often topped with anchovies, a small, strongly flavored fish which is gutted and salted in brine. To me, anchovies are the perfect description of Naples. Fishy, salty, and overpowering to those who are unfamiliar with it, but authentic, gritty, and raw to the one willing to look beyond the surface. As we travel, we must try and experience the foods beyond the obvious and the popular. Who knows, you might discover the personal mythologies of a city, just the way I discovered anchovies and Naples. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Utsav Memory on Twitter and YVTravel42 on Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Guys, it's been a really, really cool week. We've had a ton of interesting stuff come out. We had an episode with Kunal Shah on Cyrus Says. We've had really stellar episodes on Pesa Vesa, Advertising is Dead, Filter Coffee Podcast, on Empowering Series, all over the place. Definitely do check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy what's been going on this week. And thanks for listening, and we hope to catch you again next week.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills. From health to relationships. From mental well-being to emotional well-being. And of course, your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.